7 FM.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home. But there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back
Good evening to you. It's another Tuesday evening, and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go. Tonight, we are going to be having a conversation that is really of interest to me because I know most of us use this particular thing that we are going to be talking about. We use internet connection, we use data, anything that has to do with us having video calls, sending files, we do this. But sometimes we barely take time to think about what really goes on behind the scenes. And so tonight we'll be talking about upload speed. Most of us know about Netflix and chills, and when you are watching your movie and sometimes it's buffering and you're not okay with that. But what about when you are on that video call and then for some reason you freeze and people cannot really hear you? We'll be talking about that, and we'll be going into much more details, the importance of having a good upload speed when it comes to your internet connection. I'm going to be having a conversation with two gentlemen. They're already in the studio. In fact, before I continue, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to Kobby Spiky for sitting in for me last week. But then, yes, we'll be having a show again. We will be sharing with you what has been happening in the tech space in the past week before we get into our conversation for tonight. So take a listen to the emerging tech trends. We will be back after that.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denisia Poma Ej. In our headlines, LinkedIn tests AI models with new cross-check feature. Also, Meta is testing WhatsApp Plus subscription. Also, Perplexity launches AI assistant for Mac. And finally, Apple CEO Tim Cook to step down. Let's settle for the details now. LinkedIn has launched a new cross-check tool that lets premium users compare responses from different AI models side by side. Now, the feature acts like a blind test, helping users evaluate which AI performs better before revealing the model behind each answer. Meta is testing a new WhatsApp Plus subscription focused mainly on cosmetic upgrades like themes and customization options rather than adding major new functionality. Perplexity has released its AI assistant app for Mac OS, allowing users to search, summarize content, and perform tasks directly from their desktop using natural language prompts. And finally, Tim Cook will step down as Apple CEO on September 1, 2026 after nearly 15 years, transitioning to executive chairman while hardware chief John Tenners takes over. And that's it for this week's episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denicia Poma Ej. I will catch you same time next week.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. If you're just joining us tonight, we'll be having a conversation on upload speed, the internet feature most people ignore. What do you usually focus on? Is it the upload speed or the download speed? Which one usually is of importance to you? Let us hear from you on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997. You can send us a WhatsApp message to the number 055 1111 997. Now to my guest, I have with me Samuel Boateng, the content creator for Interesting Digital Trends. Samuel, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're well. Great. I also have with me Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah. In fact, he said he's a tech expert, but those of you who listened last week, he sat in for me. Kobby, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Which one will be better, Kobby or Spiky? Anyone? Spiky. All right.
Kobby 4 doors.
Kobby 4 doors. You're also welcome.
Thank you.
We want to talk about upload speed. I mean, when it comes to internet connection, like I said, it's something that people are usually focused on. Oftentimes, the download, what they are going to be getting, what they are watching at any point in time. But we do things that usually demands that we have a good upload speed, but people don't really focus so much on it. So I'm going to start in first with you, Samuel. When we say upload speed, what exactly are we talking about, and how is that different from download speed?
So let me start from this way. When the internet started, mostly people were concerned about downloading stuff. Just recently that things changed and everybody wants to have content out there. But the internet is not complete without an addition of data. There must be going in and coming out, just like that. You must receive and give. Most of the time we were looking at receiving, so the downloading was what our focus was on. But to be able to have now synchronizing your data and all those things on clouds, and that's the stuff you've been talking about, that means that you should be able to push your same data out there for it to be put somewhere else. So when you talk about the upload is being able to send your data from your machine or whatever content you've created to somewhere else. Where that somewhere else is the internet, and then it brings that same data or any other data that you want down, which is the downloads. So you can't leave without the other. They both work in and out for the system to be fruitful.
Great. So talking about sending your data, so that could even be like voice notes.
Anything at all that needs
on
to
WhatsApp.
Go somewhere, yeah. So the text you've been sending to your friend, like, hi, it has to go through an upload channel. Because if it's downloading alone, it wouldn't work. So it has to go to the server for WhatsApp. It goes so quickly, like you don't notice. It's just like a ping, like quickly. Then the person receives it, downloads it, sends his own or her own. Then it also quickly goes, then gets to you. So there's a quick communication happening. You might not notice, but very important to be able to have both happening at the same time.
It happens. Spiky, why is that? Oftentimes people focus more on the download, like upload. Yes, like he's saying, SMS, sending that voice notes and all that. It happens so quickly. But oftentimes when it comes to internet connection, like the mind is on download. Why is that the case?
So, for the longest time, we've been consumers of the internet. All we care about is what's on that we can consume. And we have somewhat evolved into contributors as well. So now you have the creator economy happening. A lot of people on TikTok, YouTube, so everyone is now contributing to the internet. Hence why uploads have become of major concern. Let's also not forget that there's been a huge shift from people always going to the office to now remote work. There's another, avenue for contributing to the internet or upload. And that's where all these things come to play. And before internet speeds were, I was born in the era where you had to use dial-up. I don't think I want to experience video calls in a dial-up era.
No.
Yeah, I don't think.
I experienced that myself. I mean, not the video call, but using the dial-up.
Dial-up,
for
yeah.
internet connection.
You know, so yeah, even connecting itself was a journey. How much more when you're online? You want to do a video call? Good luck.
Roadblocks.
So, but now, thanks to the speed, we can all do video calls. So we can send our videos across and then receive someone, just like Sam said. So if you think about it, that's what's made us now more concerned about internet speed. Before we're just consuming.
That's the whole point. Now, so many content creators, people are just pushing things out there. Someone finds themselves in a place, something happens, and the next thing, you're already taking a video and then pushing it out there, uploading
Engineering
it.
also advanced in that format. As technology, as you spoke about, as the internet got faster, more technology was created that aligns with that kind of content. Because at first, nobody, Roblox, the cartoon that looks like pixelated. So it wouldn't come to your mind for you to create something if you know that the data transfer is not that good. So now that the internet has gotten to that level, now they're like, okay, let's have things that could. Nobody was thinking of virtual classes with the internet back then. But immediately you got to a point, this can be done because you've gotten to this point now, it become more relevant. And actually bridging the distance between what we could do and what we couldn't do. Yeah.
That's so true. Talking about virtual classes, I mean, when COVID hit, that was one of the things that really became a thing. The different schools and Zoom, and sometimes people would be on calls and, they just, at some point, you can't hear what the person is saying or their voices are just something else. But it's good that we are having this conversation, talking about the upload speed, so that at least people are aware of it, that it's not only about what you are consuming, but what you are also sending also plays a role there. So can we talk about some everyday activities? It could be at home. I work from home, for instance, and I know that virtual calls are really a thing for me. There's no way you can be working from home and you won't be joining some of these calls, sometimes on video, sometimes without it. So can we talk about some other activities too that, depend heavily on the upload speed that we are talking about? I'll come to you, Spiky, first.
So I'll start from home. I love technology, so everything about my house is tech. And one of the things that people take for granted is our security systems.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home, you want to watch your CCTV cameras, it's streaming to you wherever you are, but you're forgetting that your upload speed that contributes to you getting a very clear feed, or that feed actually getting to you. So imagine you're using some internet provider that gives you very good downloads but very bad uploads. And every single time you are trying to watch the camera and it will buffer and buffer. By the time you see the video, the thief has carried the TV and has gone. He's on a car going to La Paz.
Yeah.
And here you are still waiting for it to buffer, We forget that all these things need to send signals as well, send us data. You mentioned, working from home. Working from home is not only just about the calls like a lot of people think, but the files. You've worked on a document. And sometimes you are collaborating on a document. You're changing stuff. Someone is also contributing stuff on that document.
At the same time.
Next thing you know, you've made that whole change, and then somebody also made a change. But you didn't get that because your upload speed was so slow. By the time it got to that person, the person had probably made a lot of changes. And you're on the call and you have to turn off your camera because it's affecting.
Nothing happens often there.
So, let me turn off my camera. The connection will be better. No. The upload speed would now be forgiving and allow all your packets that you're sending out to go. So some of these things, because we don't understand how it works, we blame it a lot of the times on the network. The network is bad. Is it yours? Is it mine? But who's buffering here? Is it me or you?
Yeah.
You're blaming my network, but you're the one who's been frozen for like 15 minutes. So knowing that it's you sending your video out there and your upload speed is bad, that's what's causing you to be freezing is very important. When people run speed tests, all they look out for is the download speed. So you go to fast.com, and fast.com is also biased. It only show you download speed.
That's the thing.
Don't show you upload speed. So
and
everybody
it comes very bright, very big.
Yeah.
You can see
Meanwhile, the more info is there, is down. Mind you,
Basically.
fast.com was developed by Netflix. And Netflix cares about download because you're not uploading anything to Netflix. You are consuming. So if you use fast.com to do your speed test, you're only looking at your download speed. So then you're looking at your Netflix watching speed. That's all you're looking at. So maybe take into consideration the fact that there are other speed tests. Google has one. There is speedtest.net itself, which you can use. So now you can actually see your upload speed versus your download speed.
You mentioned something as you were giving your submission that sometimes people don't really know exactly what goes on behind the scenes or what really happens. And so for them, the focus is just on the download. So can we just break that down, at least for someone listening to us and what we are talking about, the fact that we've touched on what upload speed is? How can they really have a better understanding of this conversation so that at least in making a decision, they know that, okay, do I even need to use my mobile data, for instance, or getting fiber will be more important? Can we just talk about that? Yeah.
So I'm just running a speed test right now to see my speed.
And I'm doing that to just take people through that too sometimes.
Yeah. So if you're on your phone, just grab it, open your browser, and then go to speedtest.net. Now when you get there and you enter it, it should bring up it's like a speedometer. So once you start it, it will do a test. The first one is your download speed. It will also tell you which service provider you're on, whether it's MTN. Since they're the sponsor, I'll mention them. Everybody else can go and fall inside the sea. And then, so when you're done, it tells you your download speed. And it will give you that speed in megabits per second. So higher is always better.
Yeah.
I mean, loading speed, you want lower so that it's faster. But when you're testing your internet speed, you want higher because then you're going to see the actual speed that you're getting. Naturally or technically, when you do a speed test, depending on which network you're on, most of the time your download speeds are faster than your upload speeds. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of been the way for for the longest because of basically how the service is. We're more consumers than we are contributors, so it makes sense to make the download speeds a priority. In certain cases, some people actually ask for priority on uploads because that's what they do a lot more. They are rather sending stuff. So when I did my test, the first result I got was a download, which was 90 megabits per second. And my upload is doing that right now, and it's also hitting about 30 megabits per second. Mind you, it's megabits, not megabytes. People always confuse the two. Yeah. And that's decent. It's actually quite good. So it means that I can upload things quite fast.
This is your mobile data?
This is my mobile data, right? So on MTN. Okay. Now, the other, I know, should I even say this? There are some service providers that people have been using which are satellite service providers, which people are saying, oh, it's good. And recently I was talking to a friend who's a gamer. You know, he streams. And he's like, oh, I want to get on this provider. I'm like, what did you say you do again? He's like, exactly. Oh, I game and I stream. I said, okay, good. So you need a lot more. It's like, I need fast internet. I was like, no. What do you need? He's like, I need fast internet. You need internet that's good with uploads. Exactly. And the satellite is not good with uploads. Now, the question a lot of people are asking is why? Why is satellite internet so bad with uploads? Technically, it's very complicated to explain, but I'll simplify it as much as we can.
So for such a person, I mean, before you get into the explanation of that, for such a person, a better option would be the fiber.
Yep, absolutely. Because fiber, look, you can't compare the speed of light to the speed of waves, right? If I switch on a flashlight right now, instantly you see it. Imagine if I switch on a flashlight and it took you a couple of seconds to see it. Or you go into your room, turn on your light, and then the light comes on slowly. You probably fall down before you get get around. Yeah. That's the difference. You know how when you hear noise sometimes, in fact, let's just use lightning and thunder. Yes. Lightning and thunder come together, but we always see the lightning before we hear the thunder. Yeah. So fiber is lightning. Thunder is everybody else that's not using fiber, right? That's MTN essentially fiber. It. So if you're using something like MTN fiber, it's lightning. You turn on the light, it's on because fiber is light. It's light's traveling through glass to wherever you are. So it's coming instantly versus the one that's coming from space that is going through the clouds, hitting some airplane, the Okpo that's flying in the air, everything before it finally gets to you. Now imagine you sending the same signal back, which is upload. And you don't even have a percentage of the satellite's power in space, and you have to send that signal back up. It will take, a lot of energy, which you don't have, so yours is going to go small.
Exactly.
So that's what's happening. So, if you're a gamer and you are thinking of going satellites, don't be like my friend. use fiber.
But why is it that there is that misunderstanding though? Because for such a person, for him, he just thinks, oh, this particular provider, everyone is saying they have fast internet, so let me just go ahead and do that. Why is it that people even don't even check? Like, he's a gamer, and he had not really taken the time to even go through what's needed to be done. So I think even in having this conversation, it's important that we know what we are using. Like you said, even when it comes to the upload and downloads, for some people, even though the network providers usually provide a higher priority for their downloads, you can request so that you can have higher priority on your upload. So depending on what you do, you need to check that and have that done. It's important. If you're joining the conversation, we are talking about upload speed, the internet feature that most people ignore. And you can join in the conversation by sending us a message on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997. We have a message that says, good evening, my people. Have you experienced a download slower than a tortoise before? Annoying Pro Max. What caused the difference in speed in same environment? You move to this chair, download is a little faster. Video and voice call is stable. You move to the next bed and it drops dead in same room. What is the matter? This is a question from one of our listeners. Some more.
I think we spoke about this the last time. I'm trying to use radio signals. The cluster of devices in one space can affect the speed transfer in that same space. And also, for example, you might be having things like your wall and other devices in the room that can also, in a way, block the signal that's coming in through the satellite from easily penetrating and getting to your device. So maybe your neighbor is having his phone on next to your wall, which is also like you're sharing a wall. Maybe he's having a device that can pull more, and you're also trying to lean on that same wall and get it. It won't work. You have to go to your window to go and hang it to catch a network. So for you to be able to easily get these things, I think the fiber will be the best, because the fiber is not reliant on someone else's status or whatever the person's having, the device is having. It just, as you said, light passing through the tubes to get to wherever you are, and then the distribution is in your room. You and your let me call it router alone. And you are safe. With that one, you don't get moved to another position in your room where it's good and all that.
All right. So you have that responded to. At least you get, depending on where you are, you may
He's
have.
He's still talking about download though. So.
He's still talking about download, yeah, but we are talking about both download and upload.
I need you to get on board.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's spoken about video calls, then the upload will still come in here, because if you're having a video call.
So let me talk about this. Some people have lost their relationship due to uploads. I don't think they've noticed. The reason why your boyfriend left you when he went to America is because he can't see your face. The internet you have been using, the upload is so bad that you are pixelated. That's why the Roblox, they can't see you. So that the conversation is all destroyed. Meanwhile, you are forcing yourself to use the same bundle you have been using on your phone continuously. That means you are limiting yourself. Meanwhile, you could have just asked your same boyfriend to get you some coins to get the fiber internet. Save yourself the hassle. Like, oh, I'm coming, Charlie. The network is not good. It's not the light in your room. It is not the light.
It's not the light.
It's not the light. They can't see your face. You are blaming the light. It's not the light.
The person should get MTN fiber.
Get the fiber. Speed up things. Because, I mean, I've tried it. When you are trying to have a conversation, you have a meeting, you are trying to talk something important, then all of a sudden you drop off. And they're like, hello.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling at all.
A 5-minute meeting turns to a 15-minute meeting because the manager that is trying to use his phone to hotspot his laptop at home.
I experienced one today.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cool at all. The person starts talking, he's sharing his screen, and the next thing we are on Slack.
Yeah.
Next thing you just see that it's just buffering and he's off. And then we are asking, is it me? Is it you? Which of us is having the issue that we can't hear?
The funniest one is when they have a meeting and someone has a problem and everybody just quiet.
But what
nobody can hear me. Everybody just quiet. Like, you are there, you're confused. Is everybody online? Hello, can you guys hear me? You know, like, yeah, we are here, but the guy speaking can't talk.
That really happens. Yeah. That really happens often.
You know, one thing I've noticed is that somebody can legit have fiber at home and they will be their own bottleneck.
Let's explain that.
Now, someone's got a wireless router. You've connected your fiber, gotten a router. Remember when we were kids, they had a room divider. You know those things with a glass. You know, I've someone's house where their Wi-Fi router was in a corner in a sort of glass container. Now, glass actually, they wanted it to be out of sight because it was unsightly, and they care about their decor so much that let's find a very nice way to put it there and then put some flower pots in front of it so nobody sees it. The problem was that was impacting the internet speed greatly. They had complained and complained to the internet service provider. Little do they know they were the problem. Now, if it was even a little bit higher up, that's fine. But it was, down there somewhere in the glass container. Now, glass is also a very, very terrible thing when it comes to internet because it blocks the signal. So, very thick concrete is bad, and then putting it in glass is also very bad. So if you have very thick concrete walls, you're going to need repeaters around, or you build like your own sort of mesh network. Every room has a little bit of a node or repeaters placed around your house, and don't blame it on your network service provider. Sometimes the problem is really from you, or which something I've seen in a company before, where they have fiber going into a fast Ethernet switch. You have a gigabit connection, which is what fiber was probably providing you, and your switch is 1000, which is limiting that gigabit speed to 100 megabits. So imagine you've bought like a Ferrari, but it's running on shopping cart wheels. Which speed you want to go? Or you put a Toyota engine in it, you're bottlenecking yourself. So sometimes people need to take it into consideration. There are a lot of factors that contribute to your internet speed, and it's not just the service provider. Sometimes you're the problem. You are Abobi Bekawa.
Why you don't know that?
After Ghana man, she has deleted.
Oh, you haven't heard it?
I know. But are you people why?
Like,
is it that you don't know what
our
former president said? No, it's like is it that you don't know what our former president said? That's what he said. Okay. But it's no true. Anyway, but I think the key thing for us to notice, you can even check around you right now. Maybe we are talking about MTN fiber, you already have it. Where have you positioned it? If you are experiencing any issues with upload speed or even download, any issues with your internet connection, you should just check it. If you find it in a position where for you are just thinking about the decor in your room or your space, it's important that you allow it to be in a free space, not being hidden by any kind of object, so that at least you can get the best internet connection for anything that you want to do. So please, let's just take note of that. If you are just joining us, we're having a conversation on upload speed, the internet feature that most people ignore. You can send us a message on the WhatsApp number 055 11 11 997 055 11 11 997. What's the one thing that you do most online? Is it sending files or sending videos? And you have any challenge with internet when it comes to this, you can just send us a message on the WhatsApp number 055 11 997. Now, we've spoken a bit about working from home, and when it comes to the different people at home, can we just talk about sharing of bandwidth, for instance, when it comes to this upload speed that we are talking about? Why sometimes when many people are in a home, they struggle with, poor internet connection and then the upload speed? I'll start with you, Samuel.
So if you have the megabits that he spoke about, if you have a family of content creators and everybody's live,
Content creators.
it's live in their room, and you have 5 megabits per second or something, you'll be having an issue because it's like you're sharing it across the house. So having something like 10 to 20 being shared across where everyone is trying to do their life. Your son is playing games on Twitch or somewhere online where he's trying to get it to, on, like, how do you call it? In real life, IRL. And then you have someone dancing in another room. You have someone who's uploading a file because maybe the office is calling to. When that's happening, there's a pool on it. You might be thinking it's the download. It's not the download. There's a pool on the usage. So when the megabits it's high, then the usual sharing it's not affected. It's affecting anyone at all. Nobody even notices that something like that is happening. But if you have 2 megabits, it's like immediately someone begins to do something heavy on one side, then the other one has to now wait for the other one to finish. which is not convenient. I mean, in this era that we are in, everybody's trying to work at the same time. Your phone is syncing, your laptop is syncing.
Yeah.
You get it. So all the devices are running at a time means that you need more speed to be able to have your upload and your download working efficiently.
Great. So for such a family, I'm coming to you now, Spiky. How can they more or less work on it so that they don't really have this challenge? Staggering the usage. Because sometimes it could be that all of them at the same time, they're on it, but how can they handle that?
So, well, the basics is first knowing what everyone is doing online, and then being able to monitor your own consumption, the bandwidth. It can get complicated because maybe there are certain tools that you have to employ, certain softwares that you have to install. In my house, for instance, I have given everybody their bandwidth, because I can see on the router who is what.
Yeah.
And then I've assigned everyone's bandwidth, and me, the Don Dada, I have the rest. I'm paying, so everybody can have the coins. And you can do these things. If you have a IT friend or someone, let them come and configure your router and assign bandwidth. Your child's PS5, you can give it enough for the Twitch, like you mentioned. So if they're going to be streaming and conversing with their friends online, they have that opportunity to do that. If you are Don Dada like me, you need the rest of the bandwidth, you take it. If you have a daughter who's
What
mostly...
do Don Dadas do?
He's sitting right here, you can ask him.
Okay, what do you guys do online? What do you upload?
Oh, I mean, I don't think I fall in that, generalized Don Dada category. I'm a specialized Don Dada. Like, I do a lot.
That he wants to understand.
Okay.
I mean, I do a lot.
Okay.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, think about it. The Don Dada, once again, in the house, is busy with work. He has to do the work that's going to bring him the money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
He's probably also watching some YouTube tutorial on how to fix that cupboard thing, in the garage.
Yeah.
He is sending something to someone. He's syncing, his OneDrive or his Google Drive, backing up stuff from his... I mean, I've worked with one CEO who had his WhatsApp backup was about 32 gig, and he's backing up daily. Someone like that, the bandwidth was to just give it to him because he needs that. Imagine if tomorrow that phone crashes and maybe some important documents that he has to go to court with are lost. So someone like, he needs his bandwidth because by morning the backup should be done. So people do a lot of things, downloading, uploading, and mind you, I think we've stopped. Generally, everyone has become a content creator. Everybody's posting something online right now.
So true.
If they're not doing crowd, they're doing some Kutia on WhatsApp status. So let's take that into consideration. That person uploading that status is also a content creator.
Yeah.
It may be just their status, but they're creating content. So figure out how much bandwidth they're using. You can always check it on your phone settings or your laptop settings. See how much bandwidth you've consumed or how much data you've consumed that month. You see, just do a small Excel sheet to look at everybody's consumption. Obviously, PS5 owner will be higher because downloading updates for their games, the Fortnite, the Roblox and such, takes a lot of data.
Streaming at high quality.
And they would always go for the highest speed. So they may be chopping your data. You can ask them, don't worry. They will suffer. They need to learn hard.
Well, wow.
And then once you know all these things, you can even go a step further and then put hardware bandwidth, but that's, overkill.
Yeah.
But I'd say that for companies, who want to control how much bandwidth is being consumed, there's certain parts of your department that need more bandwidth than others. Some just do Microsoft Word, Excel, and then whatever ERP system they're running. They don't need too much bandwidth. You can allocate just a little bit for them, enough for them to do their backups and syncing stuff. Then there's those who run your digital departments. They are constantly going to be sending files in, out, creative stuff. I mean, I can imagine your creative guy having to upload that big PSD file and it's loading and then boss is calling, where's the file? It's attaching, it's uploading.
That thing
explanation
You
will be
upload one document, one PDF like 4 times and to keep capturing.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
Because somebody in I won't mention any department
Another
before they come for me, but somebody in that department, we all know them. They finish their work by 11 o'clock, and the rest is TikTok. The rest is YouTube and TikTok.
That's the whole thing.
You know, IT departments are always, you know, like eyeing those people. You can't ask them, but Charlie, I'm giving you the permission. Ask them. You know, cut the bandwidth. Give them small pet. They will hotspot their laptop and then connect their phone to it and be hogging on the bandwidth. Doing all those, you know, so you do that kind of stuff. But, you know, just apportion bandwidth to everyone. Give those who need, you know, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and the rest, they are TikTok.
It's important that we do that.
Let me chip in this.
Yeah.
Those who seriously want to do remote work, you seriously want to do remote work and you want to hotspot with your phone. I mean, do you know the word seriously really well? Because there's a guy who told the story. He said he joined this, he uploaded his CV on Fiverr, did some projects and stuff, and he got a good, like, projects. And they gave him, like, the foreigners, the way they work with their files is, like, it's huge. And the internet is fast. So they sent him some, like, 300 gigabyte stuff. And he had to work on the video. When it was done, he had to re-upload the video for the client. And even download was a hell in the first place. He struggled a lot to get the download done. And when he was done with the project, getting it back to the client alone,
Was another thing.
the guy lost the whole contract. Meanwhile, to the guy it's supposed to be a continual work when you do the first one, because he's recording a lot of work. You can tell from 300 gigabyte tells you that the kind of work the person does. High quality, on point, and the payments coming in. Woo, the money would have been great. But because of upload speed, he just lost everything.
So someone like that needed MTN fiber.
You need the fiber.
I mean, when it comes to working from home, I don't see why people need to be hotspotting, because you could just get a phone call while
terminate
the call,
anything.
and that's the end. So as much as possible, it has to be checked. This is Geek Squad with a girl, Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We are having a discussion on internet upload speed. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back after that.
When your safety is priority, don't settle for less. Choose the best. Introducing Titanium Security Services, the backbone of professional protection in Ghana. From residential homes to corporate offices, banks, warehouses, and special events, we deliver unmatched security solutions 24/7. Our guards are highly trained, our systems are cutting edge, and our response time is second to none. Find us right behind the Community 11 Police Station in Tema, a strategic location for rapid response and reliable service. Your safety isn't negotiable, so protect it with the strength of titanium. Call us now on 0509 338 555. That's 0509 338 555. Titanium Security Services. Strong, smart, secure, always.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl, Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. Tonight, we're having a conversation on upload speed, the internet feature most people ignore. I'm having a conversation with Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah, and Boateng. And just before we went on the break, we received a message from Kwame, so we just want to take that. It said, how do I check the data usage at my office? I'm going to direct this to Spiky. I know you mentioned it, so he's just wondering, how can he do this? Maybe he's IT manager or something, and he wants to know what's happening in his office.
Well, there are a few ways to do it, depending on what internet service provider are you using, and what hardware do you have. If you are even going through a server, you know, like you have an internet server, for instance. So you need to know all of these things. Yeah. Once you know what you're using, if you're running it through a server, you can run a software on it that basically monitors every single person, whatever they're doing. You can go as far as knowing every single website everybody visits. Yeah. If you want to do that, that's totally up to you. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you know those who are going to, sorry, and then you can block their access. And that also allows you to control which sites people can access.
Yeah,
you know,
control.
You can do that on the server, you can do that on the router. If your router is smart enough, It gives you the access to do that. You can even see how much people are consuming on that. And, so just for starters, your router first, or if you are doing a server, install a software on the server, and then you can use that to monitor how much you're consuming.
Get a firewall.
It's a firewall, yeah. And I think it depends on the service provider that you have. Some of these conversations can also be had with them.
Okay.
I remember we had to do something like that. This one was in the office some time back. We had to really check what was happening because just within a short time, and even at church, because I'm part of the projection team, and sometimes we need what we're talking about for our live streams. The internet, we buy data, and before you know it, it's all gone. So we had to be checking who is connected to what at what time, and then see, sometimes even changing the passwords and all that.
Yeah.
So
Get rid of that ghost connector.
yes.
The ghost. Sometimes the neighbor. You're at
Yeah.
church,
So there
screaming
was
at the neighbor next to the church.
There was a funny video that a man went to the neighbor to ask
Why
have
did you
you
change
changed
the
your
password?
password?
I saw it.
And I was like, how?
Shout outs to Nila Ivanovas, Derek. Anyone who knows Derek saw his post on Facebook where the boys in his hood come and stand by his wall because apparently somebody had leaked the password. And
they have to be close by.
so they can't stand by his wall and they are busy doing their uploads and downloads. And he'd always see them gathered there. He thought they were having like a meeting. Little did he know that
on his data.
he was the hotspot. He has to name his
Why are these boys
house hotspot. Because Charlie, shout outs, Derek. You're doing the community a very good service.
He's giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Hey, people are wild though.
Yeah.
Once one person got to know and
They
said,
will share with everybody.
let's go around here.
Charlie, what did you do for here? Be like, oh, Charlie, I did check some hotspots view. Like, okay, you get a password.
Oh my. I want us to touch a bit on the backups. I know we've spoken about it already, but for people, especially WhatsApp, like the example that you gave, I know that sometimes people change phones or even something happens and before you know it, they don't have access to their old information again. So how does the upload speed that we're talking about affect cloud storage and then backups? I'll start first with you, Samuel.
I think he mentioned it as one of the bosses that he knew had
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So people have not noticed your phone when you go to your WhatsApp storage, there's a backup happening. I have up to like the 30 he was talking about, and almost every night when you sleep and the phone is dormant, that's when it begins to synchronize that data. Just try to push it to the WhatsApp. I don't know what they use, iCloud or
So if it's iOS, it's
Yes,
iCloud. If
yeah.
it's
yeah.
Android, it's Google Drive.
Google Drive,
Yeah, so it pushes it to that cloud service and keeps it there so that anytime you lose your device, you can re-download it. Apart from that, too, there's a lot of other services on the phone that does that synchronization when the phone is idle or even when you tap on it yourself so that it keeps the data happening there. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes even software updates
yeah,
too,
software updates, yeah.
that you need to
Also.
be connected to.
So I don't know if people have noticed the icon for the internet is 2, up
Yeah.
and down.
Yeah.
2 hours.
2 arrows, yes, meaning the download and the upload. So it has to work that way.
Okay. Coming back to you now, Spiky. Why is fiber internet generally better for upload speed? We've spoken about, I think just before we even read the message, I was mentioning earlier that, especially for remote workers, mobile data hotspotting is a no-no. It doesn't really help. Because you may be on a call and then, someone else calls you, voice call, and before you know it, your virtual call drops. So when it comes to fiber internet, why is that one generally better for upload speed, what we are talking about?
So, Sam was talking about the 2 arrows. And I'd liken it to a highway where you have 2 lanes on each side. The more lanes you have, the more traffic can flow.
Yeah.
Now, if you take fiber, you're essentially getting more lanes on each side
Super big
because it's fiber technology. The internet it allows for more bandwidth to be carried both ways. Versus, as I was explaining when it came to the satellites,
Yeah.
you would need you remember Charlie, the old rich people who had a big satellites in their backyard. Yeah. You need something like that if you wanted a lot of upload
It was a
speed.
sign of riches.
But now when you have with these ones that these service providers are giving us, these tiny little ones for uploading, stuff for connecting to the internet, you need a lot of power to send that kind of signal up to the satellite because
Yeah.
mind you, you're you're transmitting into space, right? Where, for the example, some of these satellite providers are, when they are sending down, the machine is bigger and more powerful, so it can send. It's like you giving power back to ECG. Do you get it? Like you are sending a lot of power. I mean, it's a bad example because okay, well, still it's good because it's going over copper cables. Anyways, but yeah, I digress. Yeah, imagine you have a power bank and you're connecting your USB that you're sending power to ECG as your small pesos of internet of power that you're sending. It won't reach anywhere.
Yeah.
But with fiber, that's like having the same amount that you're receiving, you're giving the same amounts back. So you'd find that in most cases, fiber speeds are at par most of the time. Downloads and uploads are at par. Even if there's just a little bit of, discrepancy, it's not that great as compared to other providers like other mediums like copper, which is like the phone broadband, or what do you call it? Satellites. So just think of it as your highway with multiple lanes on each side. So whether you're going or you're coming. Imagine if you're using a motorway and if you're going to Tama, you had 6 lanes. When you're coming back to Accra, you have 1 lane. There will always be traffic on the oncoming. And that will be your upload. Versus the 6 lane where everybody, when you even see the traffic on that side, you wonder, should I even go because I'm coming back? Now that's what your data is going through.
Yeah.
Your data is going fast, and when it has to come back, it's like, Charlie, so I have to sit in this traffic. And that's your picture that is going to your boyfriend, like Sam said. Yeah, it's sitting in traffic.
Give that example.
So only your eyes made it. The rest of your body is
your
coming.
beauty is lost. It's gone.
Yeah. So you need to take all these things into consideration.
Yeah. Anyway, it's important that we check this. I mean, I was giving an example earlier, when I was saying that there are times that you have to write some of these exams and you need to have your webcam on when you are doing these exams. And the last thing you want is for anything to happen and internet connection breaks. That means, that score that you needed, the exam, everything is gone. So
you studied for months just to go and write the exam. You sit on it, and then your dad is like, use my phone for hotspot.
Hey, please.
Now, the interesting thing is proctoring software do not even take into consideration your bandwidth like the way YouTube will consider your internet is, coming from some Kulungungu side, so you reduce the quality for you. The proctoring software has to see everything clear so it can know like you are cheating. It doesn't know that in a part of the world, doomsday can happen, or your niece who's spending holidays with you has gone to step on the cable and the thing has come out. So, boss, please, I'm coming. I have to go and reconnect the cable.
Yeah, exam is over.
You can't do that.
That is the end. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We will take the quick tech fixes. We will be right back after that.
Hello there, I am Michelle Ajakum, and as usual, I bring you some tech quick fixes and tips right here on Joy Geek Squad. Today, let's talk about how to improve battery life on your smartphone. If your phone battery drains too quickly, these simple changes can help. 1. Lower screen brightness. 2. Close background apps. 3. Turn on battery saver mode. Small changes can add hours to your battery.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Tonight we've been having a conversation on upload speed, the internet feature that most people usually ignore. And I'm having a conversation with Samuel Boateng and Kobby Spiky. We've spoken a bit about fiber internet, and I think touching on it as much as possible, especially for people like content creators. And if you find yourself working remotely, it's a no-no for you to be using mobile data.
Not at all.
You're better off using fiber
Cost
internet.
effective, actually. If you think about it, the amount of money you spend in losing some of the contracts and the work you have against you buying something that is more free for you to be able to flow and get it saves you money.
It saves you money. And I think we've had
time.
that conversation. Yeah.
And time is money.
Yeah. So it saves you money. Yeah.
But that's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I handled someone's phone and we're trying to do something, and I just remember how it kept buffering. I'm like, how do you use this phone? So
That
it
is
saves
what
time
you
and
want
money.
to do.
And don't go. You see, once again, let's use the fast car analogy. You've gone to get fiber, then your machine is still Pentium 4. Like, boss, why? If you know, the most painful thing as a techie is when someone calls you that they have a problem, and then you go and meet a computer that is hella slow. Like, you can die. Because you are sitting there, you can legit play 16 levels of Candy Crush, and I think it's still booting.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
You know, and the person's looking at you like, so what's the problem? And I'm looking,
You are the
out
problem.
of respect,
You are the
I'm
problem.
not telling you
Fucking
this,
have a
but
go.
boss, you spent all this money on everything but your computer. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. But in this case, if it is not even broken, it's meant for change
Yeah.
it.
You wanted
Change
the
it.
pink one, the pink laptop.
Hi, Charlie.
So as much as possible, you need to have a device that
Yeah,
also matches
yeah.
it. And it's so true because you can't be using like a young phone and the conversation we are having, you're expecting to be part of it. It doesn't work. And it's the example that he's giving with Pentium 4. Exactly. Example that he's giving with the Pentium 4. Please, as much as possible, even if you have the fiber broadband, whatever you're connecting to should be something that will be beneficial to you. Otherwise, it's of no use. The whole thing that we're talking about is like we'll just be talking for nothing. So let's check that too, as much as possible. Spoken a bit about CCTV cameras, and so I just want us to touch on that too, just a bit more in terms of using that, and for smart homes as well, fiber. Talking about it and how it really improves, especially when it comes to the upload speed. I know we've given examples, but I just want us to touch on it a bit some more.
Let me even fuse in AI. AI itself is more of a, if you talk about actual AI, it's more of an in and out kind of situation where you have to learn data from you and then give you back information, use whatever you send to it to improve on whatever it needs to send back to you again. So that continuous up and down is happening. So you must also have that upload speed. So if the new technologies that are coming up, talking about local servers, local AIs and all those things, you must have that speed. When it comes to the CCTV, I think we mentioned here before that if I'm at work and I want to see what's happening on time, for example, someone is breaking into my room, I can't be waiting 30 minutes later to see someone is breaking into my room. By the time the guy is done packing the stuff before I see it, it wouldn't help me. So I need something that can quickly tell me what's happening in my hall, what's happening on the veranda, who just opened the gate, and where is he now. So I can easily report and get my information just quickly, especially when I'm monitoring nannies and stuff like that. You need something that is abrupt and can send information. And you receiving it, it's not download. It's an upload from your house to you.
Exactly.
And it's now downloading to
your end. It's important. And some of these CCTV cameras are even connected. They have microphones that you can't even hear what's happening. So if you don't even have the good speed and all that, some of the things you'll just keep buffering.
Slap your daughter and to look as if they hacked them.
Because it's breaking.
Oh, he hugged my daughter.
You know, a lot of, like, when it comes to smart homes, there are a lot of sensors that people employ. So you've got your smoke sensors, you've got motion sensors. Now, every single, IoT device in your house has to send data. It has to send information. If you've got a hub, now imagine all these things are on your same network and they're sending all that information. It's a lot. And you need enough bandwidth to carry all of that. Don't forget, meanwhile, that time your child is also probably at home playing games, doing something.
Or even online class or something.
Online class. So taking all of these things into consideration, there's your smoke detector has picked up, smoke from somewhere. It's sending the signal, but unfortunately for you, you're on a very low upload speed. So, you get it 15 minutes later, and then you call fire service, and they get to your house, and it's gone. Your house, touch wood, but bibia sikano ashe. And then now you are blaming the system, but the system sent it. It's just that the line was busy,
It is just because you're using a network that focuses on party more than
So MTN fiber broadband is one of the things that we've touched on. It's so important that we look at having that, especially when it comes to upload speed with our internet connection. A very big thank you to you, Kobby, Spiky, and Samuel Boateng for joining me this evening, and to my producer, Prince Safo, and then the technical team, Anita. Thank you so much. God willing, next week we will be back. And a very big thank you to you, our listeners, as well. Up next is news by Michael Ashali, and then Overdrive with Kofi Hayford. Stay tuned.